Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Jack OATz to go. You either know or you don't. I want to start this out this time by saying thanks for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it, you guys. That actually made my day. I had a really crappy day of birthday. It was really bad. So that actually cheered me up a lot. So I really appreciate the birthday wishes, you guys. Let's get straight into this. So this video is just gonna be on a theory that I kind of came up with today about Licita and where she is right now. Kind of. Yeah, it's going to be weird. But kind of roll with me on this one. So this is not super thought out. You can take this or leave it. It really doesn't matter. But not everything on this channel is going to be super solid, and just got to be okay with that. But I do want to throw some things out there that could make the story a little interesting. So I was thinking about Licita, and I was like, why would Tabata introduce Licita's magic and then just kind of leave it at that, for no good reason yet, right? And we know that she used her power to seal Liu Bei inside the Grimoire, and while that's an explanation of how Liu Bei gets into the Grimoire, I don't know. It just didn't seem like enough for me. And where's the part where she's Asta's mother, and where does the magic correlate? So what I'm thinking is let's just go over her magic really quick. So we get this whole page, and she says, this is my magic. As long as it lacks mana, I can put it into and take it out of other things. That's how I brought you here. So I'm thinking, okay, I want you to step into the shoes of you fast forward however many years. You are a father or a mother, and you had to give up one child already. Your biological child you had to give up. There was no other way around it. And then you've been secluded for, I would say, a good amount of time from seeing anyone or really anything, because she sucks the life out of people and things. So you're not seeing a living being, not even trees or grass, for a while, and then you stumble upon this other kid who can really bypass your affliction, and now you're not alone anymore, and this kid would probably remind you of your own. You're going to do everything in your power to stay in that kid's life, to make sure that kid is safe no matter what. So I got to thinking, and I was like, okay, she literally did not want to lose Liu Bei so bad that she grabbed the devil by his fucking face and was trying to yeet him out of Liu Bei's body, but Lucifera ends up getting a hit on her that ended up being fatal. Now my question is, was this really a fatal hit? What if Licita never let go? And I don't want you guys to think oh, she definitely let go of Lucifera. Yeah, she did. But I'm saying, did she really let go of Liu Bei in this moment? We see her seal Liu Bei into Lic's Grimoire before she dies, or so the manga says. So what I'm thinking is, what if Licita, as a last-ditch effort to try and protect Liu Bei, puts out a spell, and the spell uses all of her mana to do this, and she seals herself inside of the Grimoire as well. Or maybe not her physical self, but her soul, rather. And, of course, this would... I say that she would use all of her mana because, like her magic says, it's gotta lack mana to be put into something else. So she would have to rid herself of her own mana and then seal her soul inside of the Grimoire. I think this could explain a couple of things that end up happening later on, right? So let's get to the very first thing, if we're going chronologically here. Liu Bei, right after this chapter, I believe, says the Grimoire chose a human. And for a very long time, I've been saying that Yuno's amulet, or the necklace, was a catalyst to why the Grimoire chose Asta. And in short, I think it's like a Bayelet sort of situation where, it's a fate and causality thing. As long as the wielder of that stone has it, and he or she desires something to be so, it will be that. So remember, I mean, it's still not an invalid theory, because we see standing at the tower where you get the grimoires at after the ceremony, because he was sad that Asta didn't get a grimoire at all. So we know that really, really wished that Asta had a grimoire and power to fight alongside him. And at the time, that just wasn't going to be the case. And then they met up with Revchi, and then Revchi put Asta into a tough spot. And then Yuno says, "That's my rival." And the manga and the anime, it shows his magic stone. And then Asta receives the grimoire right after. So I do think in some capacity this magic stone kind of made this happen. But let's say Licita did seal her soul into the grimoire. She finally finds her son, and her son's about to be killed by a rogue mage. So she's going to protect her child. And it just so happens that this happened all in the right place. And like I've said in many, many videos, this whole series is a big fate and causality game. A lot of people seem to be in the right place at the right time. And this was one of those instances. So it could be possible that Licita actually was like, "That's my son, and he's going to die. And I need to protect him." And so Liebe and Asta are connected in this way. And then we see that, and within that statement Liebe makes that the Grimoire chose a human, it shows that the Grimoire acted independently of Liebe, and Liebe has no actual control of the Grimoire. And we see that it's also independent of Asta, because it took in Yami's sword and then the demon dweller sword when they got to the dungeon. So this was something I had to think about, because what if this taking in these objects is not exactly the Grimoire's function? No other Grimoire functions that way. And here's what I got to think, and this kind of contradicts my last video, but we gotta think about everything when we make up theories, right? So Licita, as she so states, is that her magic is, as long as something lacks mana, she can put it inside of another thing. These weapons have no mana whatsoever. So if Licita's soul, or her attribute, is within this grimoire, then it makes sense why these swords are being drawn into the grimoire. And then for Yami's katana, specifically, there was an emotional attachment Asta had, or has, with that specific weapon. And if you're a parent, you're going to want to make sure that your child gets what they need to survive and stay well. And in that moment, Yami's katana was something that Asta wanted / needed in order for him to be successful in a fight against Dante and his devil. So I think it makes sense. And then you see Liebe and Asta start squaring off, and Liebe tries pulling the katana out of the grimoire, but Asta is able to keep it, and that really shouldn't have happened if you look at it. Liebe controls anti-magic indefinitely. It's not Asta who controls it, it's Liebe. So we see Liebe take the other 3 swords, but then Asta is able to hold on to this katana, and they never really explain why that was able to happen, and no one really batted an eye when it did happen. So I'm thinking Licita has something to do with this. And whether that be that she's consciously within the grimoire, looking over them both, or that just somehow her attribute was able to be sealed within this grimoire, for whatever reason that she saw fit, then it would make sense that these things happened. But I think it would make for a nice story that Licita is with Asta and has always been with Asta. Maybe not always, but since he got his grimoire, has been looking out for him and making sure that he would have the tools needed to overcome any threats that come his way. And with this theory, I have effectively placed both of Asta's parents within grimoires. If you go back a few videos where I talk about Noct and who he's working for, I believe that he's working for Astaroth, and Astaroth might be his father. And I do point out that Astaroth could be taking the shape of that the nameless grimoire that Noct has, that he uses his magic out of. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that Asta's parents may not be physically alive, but they are looking out for him in some way or another. And I think this is the way Licita's looking out for Asta, is and Liebe. I don't think she intended on the grimoire actually finding Asta at some point, but who knows? We'll see what Tabata comes up with. But I just wanted to drop this one because I thought it kind of made some sense, but I want you guys to let me know what you think about it, whether you disagree or agree. Like I said, not all of these are going to be a hit, but I think it was really fun to just kind of put this out there. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter, put in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Thank you guys for tuning in so much. I will see you guys in the next video. This has been Jack OATz to go. You either know or you don't.